Hello, good evening. Welcome to the programme.
Good evening. Coming up tonight on life support as the assisted dying bill runs out of political road, why a North Yorkshire woman is vowing to keep campaigning for one.
Warnings that urgent work to repair crumbling concrete at a West Yorkshire hospital will take much longer and cost much more.
How seeking the perfect selfie could be putting our coastal wildlife at risk.
Why West Yorkshire's real-life Paw Patrol is about to go nose-to-nose with the best canine companions from police forces across the country.
And definitely feeling warm in the sunshine today, but definitely feeling cool in that breeze. The winds and the temperatures are changing over the next few days. But is it good news or bad news? All the detail a little later on.
Battle over the right to die has returned to the gates of Parliament today as campaigners from across our region joined a major protest in Westminster.
They're accusing a small group of unelected peers in the House of Lords of undemocratic tactics to block the assisted dying bill. It's a piece of legislation that was famously championed and brought to Parliament by the Spen Valley MP, Kim Leadbeater.
With the clock ticking on the current parliamentary session, there are now fears that the bill could be talked out entirely. Chris Conway has been talking to one campaigner, Louise Shackleton, in North Yorkshire.
The devastation for the pain and suffering of people that's going to continue in this country, it's beyond words.
Louise Shackleton is a passionate advocate for legalising assisted dying. Since her husband Anthony's death at Dignitas in Switzerland in 2024, she's fought for people to have the choice to end their lives. But after members of the House of Lords proposed more than 1,000 amendments to legislation legalising assisted dying, the bill is set to run out of time on Friday. And Louise feels those living with a terminal illness have been betrayed.
I'm angry that it's an unelected chamber who have decided, due to their religious beliefs, and I've heard what they've said, that it's God's divine right to say when we die and not our right. I'm angry that they are denying people the ability to live what's rest of their lives in peace, knowing that they have the choice, that they don't have to suffer in their dying days and dying hours.
Sentiments mirrored outside Parliament today as a few hundred campaigners gathered to protest, accusing the Lords of blocking the assisted dying bill.
There are those in the Lords, though, that say this bill is deeply flawed and that is why simply they can't allow it to go ahead. What do you say to that?
If there were deep flaws within the bill, then why didn't they do their job? Most of the amendments are nothing to do with safeguarding. They're to do with terminology and wording. There are some points that need to be primed and looked at, and absolutely, as in any bill, and that was the Lord's jobs to do that, to scrutinise that, pick out any flaws and to rectify those. That's not what they've done.
All of the Royal Colleges have condemned the bill, including the Royal College of Psychiatrists, Royal College of Physicians, the national associations of people working in palliative medicine. They're all saying it's unsafe. I think we've got to listen to the professionals, people with that expertise, and certainly, therefore, seeing this bill not progress any further, I think is the right choice of Parliament, and therefore, I think we've got to move on now to look at palliative care in the next session and not bring this bill back until there's more thought.
Louise is travelling to Parliament on Friday to hear the final reading of the bill, but she hasn't given up hope that the legislation will return in the future. Chris Conway, ITV News in Scarborough.
Well, let's get some more on this now from Westminster, where David Wood has been following the fallout from all of this. And David, this bill was put forward by a Yorkshire MP who you've been hearing from today.
Yes, and I think it's important to go a little bit into parliamentary process here. When this parliamentary session began just after the general election, MPs could put into a ballot to get a law that they wanted to attempt to pass into law. So Kim Leadbeater, the Spen Valley MP, was first out of that ballot and proposed assisted dying. Ever since then, it's been working its way through Parliament. So she was sharing the disappointment with campaigners today here in Westminster. And when we spoke to her, she said, though, she is not going to give up.
I am a very determined, resilient Yorkshire woman. We do not give up when we take something on, and I will not be giving up, and I would say to all of them, we are not giving up. You have inspired me through this campaign. You continue to inspire me.
Kim Leadbeater talking there. So finally, David, how will this week play out? And bearing in mind what Kim Leadbeater said there, will this be the end of the debate for the foreseeable?
On Friday, the House of Lords will meet and spend much of the day going through various different amendments to the bill as it is. I think we expect they will keep talking and effectively talking time will end, which means when this parliamentary session is due to end at some point next week, all laws that haven't been finalised, if you like, will stop and effectively fall, as they would say round here. So that would be officially the end of it. But then the next parliamentary session will start in May. There will be another ballot for backbench MPs to be able to suggest their own new laws, a private member's bill it's called. Kim Leadbeater will certainly enter that, and there'll be a number of MPs who do want to see the law changed, and they'll be entering it too. Then the whole process would start again, but they'll need to be high up in that ballot. I think now, though, there is a wider public debate about this. The pressure will come on MPs in particular to find some conclusion to this in the coming years. OK, David, thank you. David Wood live at Westminster for us this evening.
A committee of MPs has warned that a West Yorkshire hospital remains at risk of serious deterioration from crumbling concrete.
Airedale Hospital is one of 7 across the country which were found to have reinforced aerated concrete, or RAC, 7 years ago. But work hasn't yet started on a new building. Well, Ben Basin is here with more on this. And Ben, just remind us of the problems at Airedale.
Well, Ian, it was back in 2019 that Airedale was revealed as one of a number of hospitals and schools that were built using RAC, aerated concrete, that soaks up moisture, making it more liable to collapse. Well, we visited Airedale Hospital back in 2024 and saw a number of steel supports holding up the ceiling. And there are hundreds of these throughout the hospital site. They're vital for making sure that the building is safe and keeping those patients and staff safe on a day-to-day basis. Well, the long-term plan is for the hospital to be completely rebuilt. It's part of the government's new hospital programme. Now, today, the Public Accounts Committee has released a report basically urging the government to get on with that programme as quickly as it can, because it says every year of delay is a year of borrowed time. Now, they say that the cost of keeping these 7 hospitals safe is going up and up, and is expected now to reach £1 billion.
This is going to transform people's lives, and we need to get on and do it as quickly as we can. Not least of which because there are a number of hospitals with RAC, the crumbling concrete, which can occur at any minute. And most of it is hidden, so even the surveyors can't find it. So it is really important that we get on and find out where it is and replace those hospitals as soon as possible.
So, Ben, what's the hospital and the government had to say?
Well, Airedale Hospital has told us that it desperately needs its new building, and it's working as quickly as possible to deliver it, with an outline planning application due to be submitted this summer. But in the meantime, it says it's making sure that the building is safe for everybody, with rolling inspections and structural support work. But they say that the only solution permanently is this new hospital being built. The government tonight have told me that they're doing everything they can to accelerate the building of that hospital in Airedale and at the 6 other RAC-affected sites.
Ben Basin, thank you very much.
Now, as the weather warms up, we all love a trip to the Yorkshire coast, but our presence on the shoreline can sometimes come at a heavy cost to the local wildlife who live there all year round.
Yeah, from jet skis, getting too close to dolphins, to the simple act of taking a selfie with a seal. Human interference is causing a surge in abandoned pups and injured birds.
Well, in response, North Yorkshire Police and the RSPCA have launched Operation Seabird in Scarborough today.
And earlier I asked Jeff Edmond from the RSPCA what they're having to deal with.
So on the North Yorkshire coast at Scarborough, we're seeing ever-increasing numbers of dolphins, cetaceans, seals, really nice marine wildlife we want people to enjoy, but sadly we are seeing them being disturbed. And what we've got to do is work together. So today we're working together as part of Operation Seabird with North Yorkshire Police and other partners, really to get the message out that we have to be careful, we have to be responsible around wildlife, we have to respect it and we have to protect it and look after it.
Jeff, I imagine you've seen a lot in your time, but what's the worst case that you've seen of humans who are actually disturbing wildlife recently?
It's not that long since we had a case here at Scarborough where North Yorkshire Police took a case at court where sadly a boat did get too close to some dolphins. I think what it is, it's that we really want to enjoy the wildlife, but it's remembering to maintain that sensible distance. And sometimes we see people perhaps a little bit over enthusiastic, wanting to get too close to dolphins, or if it's a seal on the beach, wanting to get too close. So it's really, this is what we can change. We can all change it for the better by being a bit more careful. And as we're looking to see more and more wildlife, then we need to just be really cautious what we're doing. So say working in partnership does make that difference. And that's what today's about, is raising that awareness. We don't want to have to deal with it on a serious basis. We want to prevent it from happening in the first place.
Is it a growing problem, perhaps a problem of selfies, you know, how people want to photograph themselves with the beautiful wildlife?
That's very true. You know, we've seen that. We can see that from vessels when watercraft users wanting to get too close to the cetaceans. But equally, we see seals, which routinely and normally as part of their everyday life will haul out on the beaches, and people getting too close. And we'd urge people, follow the Marine Wildlife Coastal Watching Code. Don't get close to 100 metres. Keep your dog on a lead if the seal's on the beach. Just be sensible. We are so lucky to have the wildlife we've got, but please be careful.
Okay, it's understandable that people do want to enjoy our wonderful Yorkshire coastline, isn't it? So what are your highlights of the area then, Jeff?
I've been in the Scarborough area for a long time, and when I see the dolphins and I see the seals and I see the abundance of wildlife that maybe I didn't a few years ago, that's just wonderful. We are so lucky that we don't own the nation's wildlife, but we're lucky to have it and we have to protect it. And I think for me it's seeing it and seeing other people enjoying it, but even I get concerned that people get too close. You know, these are wild animals living in their environment. We're seeing whales in the North Sea. I've personally seen whales off the coast of Scarborough and up at Whitby and indeed at Filey and further down the Yorkshire coast. Let's enjoy it and let's really be appreciative of what we've got, and let's think about the wildlife and be lucky to think that we can enjoy being in their home.
And keep it for the future as well. Jeff Edmond from the RSPCA in Scarborough, thank you very much. Makes you want to go, doesn't it? Well, if you are planning a trip to the coast, you'll need a weather forecast. So still to come tonight, as luck would have it.
Plenty of settled weather with high pressure in charge as we head towards the weekend. Great for getting out and about. Not necessarily great for gardeners and growers. Of course, I'll have all the detail with the full forecast.
I'll be here with the midweek sport as Leeds United go in search of a win tonight that would all but secure their Premier League safety.
And join me later to find out why TPD, that's trainee police dog Vinny, could become the next canine crime-solving sensation.
Yes, you don't want to miss that. Now then, a question for you. Do you ever do any voluntary work? Well, here at ITV, staff are lucky to be allowed to take 2 days off to do some volunteering.
Yeah, it's a way of giving something back, and it also makes you feel good, doesn't it? And in fact, 2/3 of businesses now offer paid volunteering days to employees, but the majority of those days are not taken up.
Yeah, the sad thing about that is charities are missing out and employees are not experiencing the benefits volunteering can bring. Kevin Ashford reports.
Volunteering can take many forms, and a growing trend is for businesses to allow their employees to do it in work time. Mark Bennett works for an IT company in Leeds and volunteers on projects that help get young people into scientific and related industries.
You're learning all the time, especially with young people, because they ask fantastic questions, so it keeps you on your toes, and communication skills wise, I think it's just been fantastic from that perspective. Also, it's kind of that, it's good to be able to inspire other people and to do things, but you actually get loads back from seeing them and how they develop. And just, I really like the fact that what we do is linked to different people from different backgrounds are underrepresented.
Nearly 2/3 of companies in the UK now offer paid volunteering time to their employees. But a study showed that currently less than 1/3 of volunteer days were claimed. And that, campaigners say, means 140 million hours of potential volunteering were unused. An online tool has been set up to try to change that by helping would-be volunteers find an activity that fits in with their interests and is convenient.
There's a real barrier to people being able to access volunteering opportunities. Lots of employees have told us that whilst they're really keen to go out there and volunteer, they can't find things to do in their local area or things that fit in with their busy lives. Go for Business enables organisations to literally sort of click and really select a cause that's important to them and enables them to volunteer at any given time that they want in their busy working lives.
The aim is to double the number of volunteering hours that are taken up, to help centres like this one, where volunteers are relied on to run many of the activities. Research shows that volunteering can help improve people's mental well-being as well as their productivity. And one estimate reckons that if all volunteering days were taken, the economic boost to the country could be worth more than £30 billion. Kevin Ashford, ITV News.
Oh, here we are.
Here we are again. You had a sneak preview, didn't you? A lot of volunteering, of course, goes on in sport. And talking of sport, Chris is here. Unfortunately, though, Yorkshire is out of the World Snooker Championships.
Yeah, our involvement is over. No sorcery at the Crucible this year, sadly. Yesterday, Stan Moody from Halifax was sent packing. And today, our final hopeful has followed Stan out the door.
Powering local sport in the community. Octopus Energy sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Now, it wasn't to be for Liam Pullen from York in his first round clash against the world number 13 Chris Wakelin at the World Snooker Championships in Sheffield. The 20-year-old, who's making his debut at the tournament this year, pulled off some great shots and hit this break of 121, but sadly for us, his opponent proved just too wily a foe, Wakelin claiming the win by 10 frames to 6. OK, let's switch to football now, and on Sunday it's the big FA Cup semi-final down at Wembley. Leeds United taking on a Chelsea team who, in the last hour, have sacked their manager Liam Rosenior. But before then, Leeds have the small matter of a Premier League match down at informed Bournemouth this evening. Leeds, though, are in something of a purple patch themselves. 2 straight wins means they're 8 points clear of the Premier League relegation zone, although manager Daniel Farke insists the job isn't done yet.
So we have achieved a lot, but nothing is done yet. So we want more points and probably also need more points, and for that we will stay with the foot on the gas and one battle after another. So we concentrate on always on the next game, and we have 5 opportunities on Premier League level to win more points, and this is how we go with this mindset right now, also in each and every game. And of course, we are also highly motivated to win as many points as possible in a difficult away game tomorrow night. Yes.
OK, elsewhere in the football tonight, Sheffield Wednesday travel to Middlesbrough and Sheffield United host Blackburn in the Championship, whereas last night Bradford City edged closer to ensuring a League One playoff spot with a 1-1 draw against top 6 hopefuls Plymouth. Will Swan equalising for the Bantams after they'd fallen behind early on. Elsewhere, Barnsley, Doncaster and Rotherham all lost, whilst Mansfield pulled off a shock 1-0 win at promotion hopeful Stockport, thanks to a goal from former Leeds man Tyler Roberts. That's all your sport from me for this evening.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for keeping us
Short
up to date.
and sweet.
Anytime.
Short and sweet. The ITV Evening News follows us at 6:30. Let's find out what's in the headlines. Here's Mary Nightingale.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, UK inflation rises as the war in Iran drives up fuel prices. Why scientists are saying climate change is extending hay fever misery. And how the Corrie star Beverly Callard's second stint in the jungle led to her cancer diagnosis. Will you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
Thank you, Mary. We shall. And we shall also join Keza now.
Hey, it was a little bit all or nothing today outside the studios, looking lovely. Plenty of blue sky, and for many parts of the region it did look like this. This was also in Leeds. A big thank you to John Victor for this fig in flower against beautiful blue sky, but it felt very different and also looked very different the further you were out towards the coast. The low cloud this morning getting burnt off by the fairly warm sunshine this time of year, but with that east-northeasterly I've been mentioning it over the last few days, it did bring in some moisture to the likes of Scarborough and Bridlington, and our ITV cameras were out there. Yeah, I mean, it's dry. There's no denying there's a lot of dry weather at the moment, but yes, fairly tricky waves with the strength of those winds coming in off the North Sea and producing a little bit of low cloud that lifts a little bit during the daytime and then comes back in. And look at that sign. Oh, no boats out today due to the weather. I'm so sorry, I am but the messenger. And we also had our ITV cameras in Bridlington. Yeah, a lot of fret, a lot of moisture coming in off that North Sea, which is about 8 degrees at the moment. So it did spoil things a little bit, but like I say, mostly dry conditions. But it was the strength of the wind that was also problematic, because it's been coming in all the way from Iceland, all the way over Scandinavia and the North Sea, and it was the strength of it as well. So from a cold direction and quite strong, but it will be lighter as we head into the next few days. So we've got high pressure firmly in charge. Actually, it's what we call an omega or omega block, like the Greek symbol. We get low pressure to the left and the right, and the high pressure builds from the south, and it pretty much gets stuck and trapped there. And so what that does bring for us over the next few days is warming temperatures day on day, not night, but day on day. And so what that does is broaden our diurnal range. So we're looking at temperatures possibly 19, I've popped to 20 on the chart by the time we get to Saturday, but under the clear skies and the lighter winds, it's going to be chilly by night. So yes, a pretty big diurnal range, but lots of dry weather to come. All the way through to next week, actually. Still looks dry. If you want it dry, it's not good for gardeners, is it?
No. If you want it dry, you got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, finally, they've been part of the police force since the 15th century, when they'd go out with the parish constable on their nighttime street patrol.
But police dogs have come a long way since then, helping to crack missing persons cases and even cybercrime, where they've been able to sniff out little tiny computer discs containing vital information.
Well, next month, the cream of the canine crop will showcase their talent at the National Police Dog Trials, which, for the first time, will be held in Wakefield at Nostell Priory. Well, Helen Steele went to meet some of them in training at West Yorkshire's police headquarters.
Do not come towards me any further, I'll send this dog, do you understand? Stop him.
Go on, send her!
They're the canine colleagues who can bring down a criminal in seconds. They're also faithful companions who live with their police trainers and do exactly what they say.
Leave! Woo, good girl, that's nice. Off duty, she's a totally different dog. She's a really loving dog, very sensitive. And she knows me, and she literally looks for me in everything that she does in her life.
And Mally, the Malinois, does much more than chase down criminals. She's found missing people and dangerous weapons.
We were deployed to an incident in Leeds where somebody had been in possession with a samurai sword, and because Mally could indicate where that person was hiding, it enabled the firearms team to locate and arrest that person safely.
Mally is one of 3 West Yorkshire police dogs who've made it through to the National Police Dog Trials in May. Chief Superintendent Nicola Brown heads up the force's dog section.
You've been in the force 30 years. If you had to pick, dogs or humans?
Dogs. Dogs. Absolutely dogs. I'm a dog lover, but I can't underestimate what they do. They literally save lives every day. Day in, day out, they are delivering that service to the public, and we should all be really proud of what they've got to offer.
Some, though, aren't quite putting in the same legwork. Meet the TPDs, that's trainee police dogs, Vinny, Georgie and Rocket.
So, Lee, I assume these aren't going to be the ones chasing people?
Absolutely not. No, these 2 dogs are going to be trained and developed for indicating and searching for drugs.
I think this one's going to be a bit laid back, right?
Yeah, it looks a bit chilled, yeah.
Those who make it to the digital team will be trained to sniff out the smallest of computer discs concealed by cyber criminals.
How do you go about training them for that?
It's relatively simple. We just get whatever target scent we want and associate that with a tennis ball, which is their reward.
So basically all this comes down to tennis balls?
Absolutely.
Chief tennis ball thrower is kennel worker Sarah.
And this is Georgie.
This is Georgie.
Is she going to make the cut? Do we know?
She's feisty. I'd like to say yes.
Next month, the 21 most skilled of all police dogs will showcase their talents. Mally missed out on a medal last year. This year, her police partner hopes that this dog will have her day. Helen Steele, ITV News in Wakefield.
They're so clever and so skilled, aren't they?
They are, and they look like they're enjoying themselves when they're at work too, don't they?
They do. They're much better than cats as well.
Oh, I don't know about that. Here's Kerry with the weather.
A clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
So yes, high pressure in charge, keeping things really settled all the way through into the weekend. We had a little bit of low cloud, mist and murk first thing this morning after a chilly start in rural spots, but for most of us it is fine over the coming few days. Plenty of spring sunshine, that cold breeze at least easing. Warm days certainly inland, but chilly nights under clearer skies with light winds. This was that nagging cloud out towards the coast today. A lot of cloud further to the northeast in the North Sea, hopefully not filtering too far towards us as we head through into this evening and overnight tonight. We start relatively dry and clear and chilly, but as the night wears on, we are going to pull in quite a bit of cloud into the early hours. So there is a messy mixture overnight tonight of clear spells, light winds, low cloud, slightly higher cloud, and then under the clearer skies further north in rural spots, a few frost pockets by dawn. So it's definitely for all of us a chilly start as we head into tomorrow. 5:48 and 8:22 are your sun times. There'll be morning mist and low cloud first thing, soon burning off I think for most of us, and again just that low cloud, the moisture coming in off the North Sea as we head through the day. Feeling chilly here just for one last day with that breeze, but it will ease throughout the day. They are generally lighter tomorrow, those winds, and therefore a little warmer inland by a degree, 16 Celsius. As we head through tomorrow night, I think there'll be a higher risk of a frost and some fog first thing, but high pressure still in charge. Low clouds still threatening a little into the North Sea. For all of us, into the weekend, definitely warmer and calmer.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
There you go, warmer and calmer, but watering cans at the ready.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. I'm going to be enjoying it though. I love
Definitely.
a bit of good weather, don't you?
Oh, it lightens the mood. That's it. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Bye-bye.